Hi, I'm Jenny, and in this video I want to show you a very special watch. Indeed, so special that it wasn't shown at Watches and Wonders this year. A watch that has never been announced, and I am sure is going to surprise even the most knowledgeable collector. So let's get started. Okay, I usually do not do unboxings because most of the time watch boxes aren't too exciting, but this one truly is an exception. What we get here is a special see-through exhibition pouch that easily opens and closes with this handy snap closure. Also protects the watch from the elements and can be stored very easily in every safe, which is always a big plus. Unfortunately though, the watch isn't available with any paper, so you have to be extra careful when buying it to not fall for a replica, but I recommend doing the taste test to make sure it's authentic, but I'll get to that later. Right, now that we have looked at the watch box or watch pouch, let's continue with the case and the bracelet because there are some shocking details you would not expect. The case itself is a square one, which could be seen as an homage to the early aviation watches from the iconic watchmakers like Cartier, or perhaps it is, more inspired by the Art Deco design of Jaeger-LeCoultre's Reverso line. I don't know, it measures 24mm from each side. I mean, it is a square after all, which means that it is easy to wear, especially for a smaller wrist like mine, as you can see. The only thing you should be aware of though is the thickness. With a height of about 11mm, it sits rather high on the wrist, and the case design prevents the watch from easily slipping under your cuff or sleeve, so keep that in mind. And if we take a closer look, we can see these very elegant, smoothed down edges on the left and right hand side, which is a stark contrast to the sharper edges on the top and the bottom, which I think is really cool because it makes the case so much more dynamic. The case itself is made from dextrose, is dairy and gluten free, and added with a bit of coloring to make the dial more legible, bring in the pop of color. But we are going to talk about that in a second. The bracelet of the watch is clearly integrated, and unfortunately you do not have the option to quickly change it or change it at all without heavily damaging your watch. It is a single link bracelet with rounded links in different pastel colors ranging from a soft orange to a blush pink. Instead of a clasp, we get treated to a stretchy string. The links are threaded onto, so it will easily fit to most wrists. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the dial. And here's where I'm really excited to be able to show you two different dial variations. Both have the same two-hand setup with Arabic numerals at 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock, which give this watch a kind of field watch flair. And in combination with the square shape, makes it a very chic and kind of a minimalistic look almost. The rest of the hour markers are dots, but unfortunately there's no luminous material on neither the hands nor the hour markers, so low light situations aren't great with this watch. Depending on how you feel, you can either go for a thicker or slimmer bezel, but both remain red on either variation. The little imperfections of the stamping aren't actually imperfections, but are a very neat design detail that takes an ironic look at the endless quest for perfection in watches and turns it into this irregular red stamping. Rumors also had it that it is perhaps meant to represent Swiss cheese to honor the origin of other iconic Swiss watchmakers. I know I usually always talk about the movement, but I have to disappoint you with this one, since this seems to be one of the best kept secrets within the watch industry when it comes to this watch and finding out which movement is built inside. So since my research did not produce any satisfying results, I have to keep guessing about the movement. My best guess would be that this is a very rare and complicated movement that makes the hands run either so incredibly slow or fast that they create this illusion of being frozen in time at the iconic 10 past 10 position. But since this watch is so full of incredible details, I can also imagine that this is yet another social commentary the watchmakers included into this piece. Something about hectic modern times, sort of feeling of either being always too late or too early, so basically never on the right time since the hands remain stuck at that one position. As always, we have to take a quick look at the value development because I made a shocking discovery when researching prices for this one online. So I bought this for €1 per watch at a local AD, and I got really lucky because there was no queue in front of the register, so I could immediately buy the watches and walk out of the store. If you do not have an AD nearby, you can also check for these watches online, but it is incredibly difficult to find this exact variation of the watch online. Most of the available models are digital, and therefore not the real deal. So you might have to invest some time here. But what really shocked me though was the fact that these go for significantly less online. I found a similar watch for about 33 cents per piece, which is merely a third of the price I had to pay for it. So what we have here is a really strange, unusual situation where retail prices are significantly higher than the ones online. So if you plan on flipping this for profit, I recommend buying it online to walk out with the most profit. And if you're not sure about the authenticity, I would make sure to do the taste test I have mentioned earlier. You don't have to, bring it to an AD to have it checked, since you can simply, take a bite off of it. And if it tastes sweet enough to burn off the taste buds on your tongue, you can be sure it is 100% authentic. Right, that is all I have for you today. These were all the 6 points you should know about this very special watch. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of it, and if this is a watch you would want to add to your collection, or perhaps not. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, I recommend subscribing to my channel. So I will see you in my next video. Bye! Yeah, it's authentic. It's so sweet. I made design changes to it. It's kind of addicting though. Gosh, the power of sugar. And so this is how you would adjust the bracelet. You just check how many links you want to take out. Let's say 2. Then you can just, bite them off. And there you go. So easy. I'm getting diabetes from a video.